When you put your pins on your map, imagine your shelf is on the wall, and as you stare at it, the roller bracket that has the pin will be on your right as you're facing your shelf on the wall, and your cross will be on your left. Depending how you set it on the table, it may be upside down. If you put them on opposite, your map will come down backwards. So again, the cross will be on your left as you faced it on the wall, and the pin will be on the right. So you need to change your manual brackets out for your electric. You take the shelf off the wall, put it on the table, remove the manual brackets. I don't have a set here, but just imagine you take the map out and you unscrew them. What you need to do is center your map on your shelf. So the easiest way to do that is being careful not to scratch the map. You might have to put a towel down or a piece of paper or something to keep the black or the dark colors from rubbing on your map. So I'm measuring from the plastic to the edge of the shelf. If you don't have this lip, it would just be straight to the edge. But for my purpose, for this shelf, it's the inside. So I have about 2 inches. This shelf has a lip, so I'm just going to measure from the back. So it's an inch from the front. And then we're going to center the map. So I'll measure from the plastic to the edge of the shelf. And this one's just over 2. So I would actually adjust it. So each side is like 2 1/8. If it's off an 1/8, it doesn't matter. So now I know where to put my brackets. This end has the spring, also known as the star end, cross end. So we're going to put this side on second. Okay. Because we have to allow a little room for this spring to compress about 50%. If you put it in too tight all the way in, you will not be able to get your map out of the brackets in the future. So we know where we're going to put the pin end, the slotted end, the pin end. We're going to do that side first. And what you'll need is either a pencil or something sharp. I've already measured it, and I know it's just about 2 1/8 inches, an inch off the front to the canvas. So we've got that centered. I'll just lift it up and insert the pin into the roller. It doesn't have to be 100% exact, but you can remeasure. And that just slides nice and tight next to the roller. What you'll do is take your pencil or something that has a point to it and just mark the holes. You can mark the front holes or the back holes in these brackets, it doesn't matter. Just make sure you mark the holes. So the holes are marked. I'm going to put some screws in. I need a little bit longer drill. This is just an extension with a Phillips head bit. Lots of different versions, but a standard bit won't fit. You need something with a little clearance. So I got the holes marked so I can move things around. And all I do is I'll just put the first one down and put it in about halfway, and then I'll do the second one. You just make it snug. The reason I don't put the first one all the way in, because as it tightens down it will cause this to spin a little bit and you can scratch your wood. And that's in there. So this one's mounted. You should have screws that we sent with this, the bracket. You just want to make sure your screws don't poke through the wood. Now we'll do the other side. All we'll do is take this guy, move our wires around, doesn't really matter right now. Put the pin back on the slot, and then we'll do the other side. Doesn't matter where you mark the holes, front holes or back holes on these. I usually just do the front. Mark the holes, you take your map off, and you'll just drill it and put the screws in. Just like the other side. Halfway in, find the hole. Halfway in, or excuse me, all the way in. And it's in. And then you can go and hang your map up, but if you want to check the fit, always put the pin in first. To press that, it's going to lock into place. So once you have the pins installed, you can put it on your wall. I always put the shelf up first and then add the map. You can scratch the map if you try to put it up with the map on the roller. So easy way to take it off is I just use a paint scraper. You can use a butter knife, and you just insert it and it will come out. A little bit harder when it's up there, but again, you just kind of get it in there and collapse the pin, and your roller will come right out. If your bracket is not in far enough and compress the pin, you'll get a funny clicking noise out of your roller. So you'll just have to move it in. And that's the nice thing about having two holes. You can just use the second set of holes and bring this forward. Pretty easy to adjust. If you don't compress the spring, you risk the map falling down as you're using it. So the spring needs to be compressed at least halfway. Other than that, it's pretty easy. Another note, you have, this one's not taped all the way up, but you have your little piece that connects to your transformer, the black plug that goes in the wall. It steps down the power to make this 12 volt. If you have any issues, it doesn't seem to work, always we'll check these wires. You just take the tape off, double check the wires, make sure they're not touching. If they touch, it will short out and the motor doesn't work. That's a cause of people's maps not working, #1 cause. When you unclip it from the transformer, it should beep, pretty easy. And another note is you have the second little wire that's hanging out here. That's just the radio receiver for your remote. So it doesn't have to have a line of sight, it just needs to be hanging out there somewhere. And your red button, when you put it up on the wall, it's good to put it either in the front or down so you can actually access it in case you have to reprogram your map, and that's a whole different video. If you put this on and it's to the very back, sometimes it's hard for you to get your finger in there and push that button.